Hello, welcome to this little tour I'm having of my realm that I have with some friends and me, of course. It's a private realm, so I just wanted to show a bit of what I've made here. The reason I'm doing this video is because I was planning on doing something else, but then a ton of stuff piled up and life happened. So there's been very little time this week to do anything. So I have little time to record and little time to edit, so I can't spend like 4-5 hours total on another Assassin's Creed video or 2 hours on a different Minecraft video. This one should be simple enough. It's just a tour and cut out the parts where there's nothing to show. I am currently in spawn, and I will go through a bit of things while we're here. I will not show any of my friends' bases, and also I usually play on this world with the shader pack on, so I will keep it on for the majority of the video unless I feel like it's nice to show some of the parts without the shader. On this realm though, we do have a couple of rules. For example, if you mostly prefer just to be building, you are allowed to just being creative and build. So I will point out the stuff that I built in creative and what I built in survival. Myself, I have a rule that I'm not allowed to build with any blocks that I haven't obtained in survival, but that's just personally. Not everyone on the realm does this, but again, I'm not going to show any of my friends' bases in this video. That also means we have also enabled creative mode, obviously, and we have made it so that we can teleport to each other's bases. I will only show my own base right now, but first off, we are in spawn. This is the spawn for this realm, and this is the first building that was put in here. It was just to have a place to have the teleportation buttons a bit official. Then later I built this and these houses over here. And while I can teleport, I'm actually going to be following a sort of pathway over to my base, but we are going to be flying because obviously I have an Elytra. We are later in the game. We have beaten the dragon twice, 3 times. I'm a little uncertain right now. And this building is based on a building in my D&D world with a lot of people that's on this realm. So it's based on a small tavern in a city. Not everything is decorated, but here you perhaps can get a bit of a sense of how I like to decorate inside my houses. This is also before the Tales and Trails update, I believe it's called. So yeah, not all the rooms are decorated. The rooms from up here and up are empty because I haven't been bothering doing them yet. But I just wanted to show it anyway, so it's no big deal, and people are just in the spawn shortly to move on with the buttons anyway. I have a little stable here with some horses, and made this little farm a while ago, though it has been a little neglected, this farm. I probably could do a little more with this when I'm interested. I will also at the end show this area, but we will go there later. Oh, I will follow this path. And we will go past some of my friends' build here, but it's just a farm, so it shouldn't be anything serious. We will arrive in my area where I've removed a jungle, and this is the newest area of my base. this mountain is the latest build. It is huge. The mountain structure in itself is built in Creative, but the forest that used to be here, because this was a jungle, this is a jungle biome, like this, in this entire area, I made this artificial river. All of the jungle was removed by survival. I did most of it. I got a little help from one of the friends on the server. They're all here in these chests. So a lot of wood and other materials from that excavation. And this little fantasy area that is a work of progress. There is going to be more in this mountain as well. But currently it is just a empty volcano. So there's going to be more here later. Perhaps I'll do an update when things have, well, more things have popped up on the world. Like I said, this fantasy area is quite new. The trees were built in Creative, but much of the others things were done in survival. Like I said, it's not a big deal on the server if you wish to build in Creative stuff. If you want to gather animals and stuff, you still have to do that in survival and all that. But this is my main base, and I'll show you. This ship is my second build here. It is also one of my signature builds. After I first built one of these ships, I have almost always built a new one every time I've been on a server or realm. This one is the best one so far. It's very detailed in how it works, and is also based off a D&D character's ship. And that's the actual dragon egg from the fight and from the first raid. It's a map of the area, so you can see this is the main base and this is the new area, which is a lot bigger. But I will try and show as much as possible here. Yeah, main base, all the floors here are decorated. The gun deck, the cabins, I believe. There are sign names here. Those are the NPC characters from the D&D campaign. A little kitchen, a eating area, and so forth. And down here, it's just a storage area where it's actually the hull of the ship. Or you can imagine that things are being lowered down here and stored for passage. But this is the top of my base, my little house. I'm really happy with my little house. It's so nice, and it's the first building on this world that I made. And I think it's very cozy. It used to be a lot more cramped in here until I finally moved out the enchanting table and my storage system. And now it's just a little cozy place, which I can use. You can also see the teleportation buttons that we use on the world. And, well, just a mob farm that I've decorated a bit. But I'll fly. There are a couple of ways to show my farm. One of them is to walk on them, and the other one is to fly and see, and I'll show both ways. But basically this was just both an easier way to get down from the top, because that was built before we had Elytras, and well, I don't use this path a lot anymore, but it's just a farm. It was very helpful to have it both pretty and accessible in the beginning. Ooh, I forget I have soul speed on this. Okay. And yes, I grind a lot on the server, so I get a lot of stuff before the others on the world. But I do try to share. I have saved some templates if some of the others want to get some trims on their stuff. But it's up to everyone to fend for themselves here. This farm area is actually new because I made it to include the new flowers and stuff. But I'll fly and show off this area here. So it's just floating islands with different farm. Each island is a separate farm. I knew wheat was going to be important, so that is the biggest one. And like I said, these farms were built before this sort of area was built. I will land right in here. This is just my village. The villagers can roam around freely. The only problem is I can't breed villagers because we have mob griefing off. So they can't pick up things or destroy the farm or anything like that. So they can't breed. That is a slight problem, but I can at least heal some zombie villagers if the need arises. They just roam around here and do their thing. And I've just made houses and secure the area as best as possible. You can see there are some golems here, but these guys have been here for a long time, so I don't think there are any more mobs that spawn, luckily. But each area is just dedicated to something. They do swap houses a lot, so there's no telling who might be in each house. And yeah, they just do their thing. This here is my enchanting area. It has a spooky theme, or more nether theme to it, because I just wanted to make a cool little tree with the nether blocks. The soul speed boots are actually a little irritating here, but yeah, just a moody atmosphere for the enchantment table. And I'll show the zoo, I guess. I'm sorry if things goes a lot back and forth, but my base is really out in all directions. There's no one directions. There are like 3 different places currently to get up. I kind of looking into if there are new areas that I could make. So here I have Ocelot. I thought I had 2. I don't know where the other one went. They are named. So unless it got suffocated, that's a problem if so. Or somehow escaped, but I don't know. Some bees, I do have free roaming bees up in the farm too, but I thought it was nice to just put some in a little glass container to look at them easier. goats, of course, because of the update. I needed goats. I know these are technically older, but they have a nice little area here. I don't use these to farm for horns though, so these are just going to stay as they are. Frogs, because they are white, because they're in the jungle, so they are warm frogs. I don't think I'm going to bother trying to get other colors into the area here. At least not yet, because it was easier to just pop the eggs in here than trying to transport frogs. Sure, you can hear the sniffers. Obviously, the newest addition to the zoo. I have 2 currently here, and I do have some more, because I spent a long time trying to find some eggs, but the others are in a farm area just to farm these seeds, even though I don't technically need any more of them. So this is Snuff, and this is Sniff. Most of the animals I don't bother naming much, so some of them are just named hello or hi. But those 2 I figured needed some proper names. Now here there's technically 2 ways to get down. One is using the aquarium and the others is the staircase. This aquarium here is also a axolotl display. Because I could. So they have a tendency to get stuck some places and don't really roam around them a lot. Hello. But it is possible to use it as a means to get down if you don't just want to drop to the bottom. This area will take us to this bridge, which is also very good to look at flying, but we will go into here and just look at one of the houses. They are all decorated differently, but just going to show the view from here. It's also a challenge to get houses that look proper with this width of a house, but it is possible if one knows how to do it, or practice, or try again, because it's not always going to work. But we will go down this way here, and I'll show off the also a great view of this fantasy area that I'm working on. There's not much there now, that's why I'm not doing a detailed tour over there. But yeah, I'll probably show more when it's more finished. Also my beacon and crater. I just made it look like a storm. I'm also thinking about improving this a bit, so could be improved, but I made it rainbow because. But right here we have some houses along the wall here. These houses are dedicated to my friends. They all got to choose a color for their house, and they are all decorated inside. Not in any particular way to say like that's how that person is. They're just decorated the best I could with the shapes I gave the houses. There are also some secret rooms and entrances in some of the houses because we have used my base to play hide and seek. We are going to go down here and can show the Pirate Cove. I'm actually very happy with this ship. I used to say for a long time that I was only capable of making ships out of the water, like the flying ship up there. But this is technically then the first successful ship I've made in the water. but it's wise to begin small. If you don't know how to make something, begin small. Look at pictures. I know this is not correct. If you look at reference pictures of actual ships, then it would actually be more U-shapes and then the bow of the ship out. I don't know all the ship terms. But yeah. This is my Pirate Cove area. It is also where I've put my teleport for... You can also hear all my farms, which are under here, but well, that's boring. There's nothing really down there except for my farms. My teleport is actually on the ship, so you kind of arrive on the ship. We're not going back to spawn though, yet. And yeah, this whole area in here was gravel and stone, so I have terraformed everything to be sand and coral. There's a coral reef not too far away from here. But again, all the houses here have gotten an interior. They are decorated, and with a lot of the new books, this was actually taken from Korean's video. One of the videos were decorated in Hermitcraft. But yeah, use inspirations from people you watch or whatever. There's no shaming in it. People don't want to hold back a technique and just say that's only for you. I kind of wish we had the pocket edition here where you could have dye in the cauldrons and then it would look more like you're actually dyeing the fabric. Because I'm trying to tell stories with my interiors for these buildings. They have their own stories, their own sort of careers and interests and so on. And some are larger, some are smaller, different techniques to get more space out of it, because in theory this is not a lot of space, but use slabs or trapdoors and suddenly you have a new floor that you can place something on. Just don't open these while the carpet is on, because... Oh, actually, I didn't know they could do that. Certain items won't be able to do that though, so be careful. You can get a better view of the clock or the bridge that we were on. And there's a lot of this I love just watching from a distance, so we will take a proper fly around afterwards and take a look. But we will go out here onto this little, what should I say, resort. It's not really pirate themed. It is quite new of a building. It's not like heavy on the interior, just minimalistic. Even just a little raised platform like this can totally reshape the room in a sense. And use your imagination. Built a small sailing ship, more realistic of sort of a modern ship. Not completely, of course, but it has the more sideways sails instead. Also a lightning rod, because when it rains and lightnings, you want to have something to catch it. Not that fire trick is off the world, so... But yeah, this ship is not decorated inside yet, but it won't be a lot in here. And, well, there's not much I can do with it. I just wanted something for this place to look at. But I'll just fly around a bit and show some of the areas. This is my crater. It's technically just my mine. It's newer, of course, because I had to get all of these things and get the beacon. But yeah, it's not mined out that much yet. There are actually some diamonds over there I haven't gotten. But I'm just systematically making a giant hole, but not so systematically since I'm going from the bottom. But yeah, I'll continue here later probably. And this whole thing goes up. Into this cloud thing. I will actually turn off my shader and show this one off without the shader, because this is actually the one thing I think looks almost better without the shader. As you can see also, there's beds in here and shulker boxes, because I want to kind of have an arena here where me and my friends can fight without having an open, because the entrance is literally in the middle here, so that will create an obstacle. But I'll turn off my shader and show this area without the... Okay, so I've made it a day again too, because although I do think it looks better without the shader, it also looks better at day without the shader, because you can actually see the different types of glass, and the light sources aren't way too bright, because at night it kind of looks better with the shader on. At day it looks better without. But I've just tried to sort of create this tornado shape, and I think it looks cool up top here. I do think further down could use some work, perhaps thickening it up a bit or creating more like loose whisks of stuff. It is actually possible to walk all the way up, but that would take a lot of time, especially if you go from all the way at the bottom. But it is possible if one has no other option. But yeah, you get up here, you grab whatever I'm going to prepare in the shulker boxes to make it fair for everyone, because I can't show up in this and I know some of my other friends have barely gotten diamond armor. I play probably the most on the realm, so then fight here. But yeah, I will turn on the shader again, but I can show this area too without the shader, just so you get a proper look at it. There is charming things about Minecraft normally. There's just something about the lighting with the shader that I like a little better. But yeah, there are certain things in the normal textures of Minecraft that I also prefer. But compared to normal Minecraft, I do really like this lighting on everything. I think actually that is most of my base. There's only like a little chicken farm there that I actually could move. My portal, which there's nothing in the end. No, nether. Well, both. So perhaps I'll build something in the nether later, but currently no need. Sure, you've seen the ship in the background. Also, like the others, no interior, but I'm very happy that I actually managed to build a larger ship in the water, because I've not been able to do that. And it's quite roomy in here. I put in the floors, that's the only thing. It's quite roomy. It is technically larger than that ship. But yeah. I'll just fly around a bit and show the angles. Sorry if I went a bit back and forth there, but yeah. I just think a lot of the areas down here are a little cooler to just take a moment and sit and appreciate, in a sense. Even though I'm going quite fast through them right now, it's a little bit because I don't want to sit and edit this video too much. But yeah, I really, really like this area. Now, I will show something else that I've been working on. But I will just grab some food first. Wrong chest. Yes, I have a lot of this. I have a guardian farm. I can technically also show, but it's nothing special. It's just a standard guardian farm. But they drop a lot of fish, so I grabbed double chest worth. But we'll go back to spawn, and I will show the area that I teased in the beginning. Now, the area I'm about to show is also based on a city from my D&D world, and I mean the entire city. It is scaled down, so if you actually were in the city, it would be a lot bigger. We will begin in a tower that's also based on one character from that city. But it's not... I'll explain when we get there. But this whole area is made in creative. I'm not going to grind that area in survival because it's very large. If I were on a proper server, I would probably be able to make it in survival, but this particular city I think is so important to me personally that I'd much rather make it in creative to properly make it. Now, not everything is done here. Not everything is decorated here. This is the tower that you begin in. Only really the top floor of this tower has any proper decorations. But I will show you the city. the main part of the city is done with buildings. As you can see, there are not everything done here. This is based on Norway's castle, the building. And only really these three buildings are done here, have been made. No interior in any of these except for the top floor of this tower. Had this been to the real scale, this tower would be a lot larger. But I'll show you the rest of the city. This is my homebrew D&D campaign city, Kepida. Like I said, it's scaled down a lot. Only the most important buildings and the filling in between are currently present. Also, since this city is mostly made in creative, we are actually going to swap out over to creative to more easily be able to navigate the city and show off better, because flying around you get sort of swooped past things a little fast for my liking. Okay, we're now in creative mode. This is supposed to be the view of the city when you enter. The city is supposed to be a lot taller than this, but you get the general idea. There's a wall that people have built and they have made their homes on top of here. Like I said, none of these buildings have an interior, with exception to the top of that and the tavern. This tavern is fully decorated and I'm very happy with it. I absolutely love the way this looks. If I could have this as a screensaver, I would, but I'm not sure how to make such a thing. So, hey, I'll just sit here if I want to, but I just really like this look. And the atmosphere I've created here is exactly what I wanted for this inn. All the rooms are decorated. All the rooms have the necessities, a bed, and apparently this is the one room that doesn't have any storage space, but you can always try to store something still on a shelf or something if you were actually in a place like this. Yes, some rooms are a bit misformed, and it's just because I was trying to get everything into one place. There are no bunk beds in here, but there are like a more spacious room. And so on. I am eventually going to finish this project, and it's going to have interiors to a lot more than just this. But these buildings are obviously important enough that they're large. Not going to go into my whole D&D lore right now, so no, there's no worry about that. But when they have their proper decorations inside, it'll be a lot easier to understand what they are. If I were better at statues, I would probably do this one more properly. So technically this could be counted as done, with the exception that there might be some signs here and stuff. I really enjoy just walking through this little market area too. And I've looked up how to build wagons and smaller carts. I have created shops here. They're all just called shop. Eventually I'm thinking about giving my friends a name tag to just name one villager. But for now, they're just all called shop. There was a lightning problem here once, so these had turned into witches, but I managed to fix this. Like I said, this is purely in creative, so I don't care if I have to respawn things in here. There are no currently survival-friendly way to get down into this part of the city. There is a way to get up, because I just created a elevator here. But yeah, use an elytra or get teleported or fly. The exterior of most of the places here are done, and the streets are at least almost done. I have seen some mobs spawn, so I'm going to have to light up some areas to fix that. Not everything is done in the city, obviously, but it is a long-term project. But I can show one thing that is done. The wells. Very Tears of the Kingdom-esque wells here, but they also have entrances, because it's a D&D world, so of course there are passageways through the city. This one here, well, leads to... I can actually show you. This well is the marketplace. You have to swim under and get out here. I know that it's not sanitary to have the well and the sewer system so close to each other, but who's gonna care? There's a passage here, button. You end up in a kitchen, but since no other area is decorated yet, you can probably guess where it's going to lead. This sewer system is obviously going to connect to a lot more areas than just this one in. How to get out? Hidden button. You can't be holding anything in the hand though, because you need to crouch to press that button. Yeah. The only possibility of getting out of this now is through the inn or through this well though. And I'm just showing where there is another well constructed, though it has not been connected up to the system yet, so just a slime block here currently. And I do think I need to place at least one more or two more wells around that people can use. There's one current church building just made to represent one of the gods in the D&D world. And a little secondary marketplace, because not every city has just one market. And the buildings are just made to reflect what I created in my D&D world. And my friends seem to really enjoy going around exploring. So if I finish this and they can just explore to their heart's content, try and figure out secrets from my lore and see if they can crack some of the things that might be coming up to them in the future. Yes, I am going to be hiding secrets around from a place. Like I said, there's no interior, it's missing some details here. These cherry blossoms might be fixed a bit later, but this is going to be the main castle of the city. My friend insists that this is the White House. I insist that this is based off the Norwegian castle, which I think it looks a lot more like the Norwegian castle than the White House, but yeah. Perhaps you guys can tell me What do you think? Actually, since we're here, I might as well show you the interior of the top of the tower. It's a sorcerer's tower. It has a chandelier. I really like this chandelier. It's nothing special, but I like it. It's just a research area. I do need to find more things that can be put here as research items. Perhaps a dragon egg could fit in here, actually. I know it's only supposed to be one in the server, but since this is creative build, I don't think it matters, and it's based on D&D, so of course there's going to be more than one dragon. This area is just a little area to use windows or look at a chandelier. Currently, at least. The way down is literally just either fall down or use the ladder. And then go back at spawn. But I think that's it for the video. Like I said, little time this week. I have actually been talking for a while, but still, I'm going to see how much I'm able to edit it. And I hope to get a proper new Assassin's Creed video next week. So that's going to be interesting. I don't understand why this cobblestone is here. I'll have to look into that later. But I hope you enjoyed seeing my world, and perhaps if anything here caught your eye, I could see if I can make something adjacent to it. Obviously new, I don't just want to make the same things over and over, but on my Let's Play world, and let me know what you think. I will obviously continue playing on both this world and my Let's Play, and I hope to see you in whatever video next shows up on my channel. But yeah, see ya!